This is Zoe for the Muddy interview. Zoe has been many things in his life, I think. But right now, Zoe is a father. It's my prized title. CEO, Pashash Group. Friend, brother, confidant, and hopefully soon husband. Actually, every day is different. No day is the same. But I'll say what keeps me going. What keeps me going, I think, is a tangent of the same question. It's the same questioning line. What keeps me going is pretty much knowing that future generations of Zoe's or Zoe's lineage will hopefully reap the benefits of my labor today. I think it's very important for us to build sustenance and sustainability. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've been trying to do, and that's what makes my life meaningful currently. Favorite food? Skambani. Give me a quarter. Give me a quarter. For people who don't know what a quarter is, it's like a quarter bread sliced, and then they take out the bread, usually toasted or something these days, and they put chips, acha, ham or special, polony. I love those combinations. I love township food. I think townships have one of the best food items that you can get, better than a restaurant sometimes. But if I'm trying to be bougie, give me a steak. Give me a rump steak any day, medium to well, and I'm happy. These days, a normal week has a couple of calls between my business partners, people who have entrusted me, and I'll just take this opportunity to thank you. You guys know who you are, but thank you to all of you who have supported the business, the vision. Because when I started out, I didn't have money or funding or anything like that. But a normal week is me making those calls, following up with certain individuals as far as my intention. Right now, I'm in court, which, funny enough, isn't the first court case that I've had. Yeah, I'm on my third now, but I've graduated to high court now. No longer just regional. There's some people who owe me money. Currently, I'm owed money for Paris. There's a project in Paris that we had built where I had employed 447 people. And yeah, sadly, we live in a country that has corruption, etc. So there's a current case that's on, or litigation situation, civil and criminal, against my team against, my apologies, my team against the municipality. So yeah, currently that's what my week looks like. A lot of stress, a lot of crying, a lot of phone calls, people swearing at me because all the 447 people, most of them got paid, but it wasn't what they were meant to get paid. Because business in general isn't what we think it is. So sadly, I had to cut off or retrench a lot of people because of it. So yeah, that's my week currently. I don't think I would move, man. I don't think I would move. I appreciate and love the Vaal for what it is. I love the south of Johannesburg. I moved out to Alberton, but it's still the Vaal. It gives me 30 minutes. I'm 30 minutes away. So yeah, I don't think I want to leave the south. I want to visit a lot of places. I want to visit a lot of places in the world, but I don't feel the need to move. Drake Ross, Nipsey, any day. Nipsey over all them niggas. Nipsey. Well, Yadi. you can't do that. That's unfair. It's unfair. Warren, if you get to see this one day, I apologize. Yeah, man, Doja Cat, Doja Cat. That Scarlet album was mad hot. Her. Her's kind of cute too, right?
Yeah, she's cute.
I'm just gonna sip because I like sipping anyway. Yo. Nicki Minaj, I think the catalog is bigger, it speaks for itself. Yeah, let's go Nicki. Jay-Z, any day. Between Bow Wow and Soulja Boy. Yeah. Okay, give me Soulja. Soulja gets mad at us when we don't pick him. So I'll go with Soulja. Thugga. Free Thug, bro. Free Thug. What happened with Gunna anyway? Hey, this case is actually hectic. This Rico case is mad.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's mad.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Young Thug any day.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Both, bro. Both. Offset.
Right.
Offset. YMCMB was hot at the time, bro. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Motto was crazy. Was it Roger that? Bedrock?
So, yeah. Bedrock was the main one.
Yeah, no. Yo, YMCMB was hot. MMG. What does MMG have under there?
Wale,
No, not artists. Like as like a stable song. Like, is there a song where all of them are on it or something?
Dice Pineapples?
Nah, that's Ross. Like that's.
They're gonna love me for my ambition.
Yeah, as artists, they have their albums, but I don't remember them having an MMG album.
They never had one. What the?
Yeah, so YMCMB as a group.
Right.
If we're talking business, record label, I'd go MMG because I think they're still like MMG's still around. They're alive. Whereas Drake is Drake, he's a brand. Nicki's Nicki. Wayne is Wayne. YMCMB isn't what it used to be. So yeah, MMG as a business, but I'd definitely go with YMCMB for catalog. Migos. I had the pleasure of seeing them at the Dome. Migos any day. It was whack, by the way, but it was dope to see them. You know, Fast and Furious any day.
Yeah.
Any day. Ooh. Ish. Avengers had me at Endgame, hey? They had me at Endgame. I don't remember a movie other than Fast and Furious 7, I think it was, that made me cry. Endgame made me cry, bro. Suicide Squad is a nice watch when you're bored, though. But yeah, Avengers. I'd go with Avengers for sure. Ish. My mother loved 300 before she passed away.
Yeah.
But I love Clash of the Titans. Clash of the Titans is more modern. I think she would have loved it too. Nah, Clash of the Titans for sure. Nike. Give me Nike any day.
Right.
Apple. I would take out my phone. I used to love Android. I remember in high school we used to have those conversations, right? Like, between Apple and Android, what's better? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, but Apple, bro. Gosh. Same brand, different price point, yeah? I think for me, I would go with Pringle, you know? Our fathers used to wear Pringle of Scotland. I'm I've adopted that style for a while now where I also wear the same. So yeah, Pringle. Tommy Hilfiger's dope though, don't get me wrong. I just haven't had the pleasure of, buying it myself. LV. Yeah, I'd go Rolex. I'd go Patek. I'd go Patek Philippe. We actually have a friend, or we had a mutual friend, Zbu. I remember the first time I saw Patek Philippe, whose dad had it on his wrist. And I
Yeah.
lost my mind. The presidential.
Dude.
And it was like, at the time, I think that shit was worth 1.4, 1.5 mil.
Dude.
Yeah, crazy times.
Hey,
Shout out
dude.
to the Ntlapos. See you.
Oh man.
Beamer boys.
Beamer
I love a
boy.
C63. I've
Yeah.
had the pleasure of driving the C63S and AMG GTC. Actually, I'll take this opportunity to thank Eon, a business partner of mine. They were technically mine, but yeah, it was a whole thing at the end. But yeah, man, I love the driving capabilities of a Benz. It scared me because I almost crashed twice with the C63.
Yeah.
I know South Africa and crime is something else, but we were racing, to be quite honest, myself and Eon. We were racing to Rastafal. And that day I fell in love with Benz. I fell in love with it. But brand-wise, give me a Beamer. Because our 1 Series is dope compared to an A-Class. You know, okay, maybe not the A-Class of now, but if you remember that A-Class that the grannies
Yeah,
had,
yeah.
that was kind of whack. So yeah, give me a Beamer. Murati, I would still go
Yeah.
Murati.
Okay.
John Craig needs to give me a sponsorship at this point, actually, after this. But yeah, I'd still go Murati. That Quattroporte is looking good, bro. Give me that Maserati, eh? Give me that Maserati. Audi, you know, with Audi or Audi, the family, I've had the pleasure of experiencing them through my father. My father loves Audis, and now he owns a RS4. Holy shit. Rolls Royce, bro. Is there anything that you can put next to Rolls Royce though? As a car? You tell me. Rolls Royce. Samsung. Alright, just for everybody watching, I switched. We had a bathroom break, so don't blame me. I'm having a young pipe. My worst regret must be in my adult years. I would start with my formative years, right? High school and all of that. I just wish I was myself, you know, rather than trying to fit a mold that I thought was what was required of me to fit in and blend in. I always say I was never a cool kid in high school, but I'm pretty sure everyone is going to disagree. But also, you know, the point is, it's very hard to miss a boy that's named Zoe. You know, it's very hard to miss. But personally, I don't think I was a cool kid. My regret in high school would have been, there was a girl, man. There was a girl. It always starts with a girl. Michaela Pillay was her name. Yeah, there's always a girl. I just wish at the time I knew what I was doing as far as developing friendships, relationships with a lot of people. Me and Michaela are cool now, of course. But yeah, you know, it's things like that where you just wonder what could have been, would have been. You know, the high school sweetheart story is a beautiful one that I wish I would have actually adapted myself to and understood at an earlier stage. As an adult, I live with no regrets. Just wish I took myself a little more seriously earlier on. Yeah. With my mom. My mom was a titan. She worked for Hunt Lascari and Ogilvy. Those are advertising companies in Johannesburg. She worked on big contracts. She was an account manager for Standard Bank, I remember, and Destiny magazine. But she lived a very dope life. Her name Caroline Mkwawana. She passed away in 2008. We were still in Milton when she passed away. And since her passing, it took me a very long time, about 10, maybe 12 years, to really come to terms with the fact that she wasn't there anymore. And it was nobody's fault, you know.
I still have my dad. But yeah, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. We're building and trying to develop our relationship. Actually, something that many people don't know. School, as far as school was concerned, after my mother passing away, it just became a cascade of things. But yeah, I suppose that's a little bit. That's a little bit. I'm not gonna go deep into it because I could go on a tangent and start blaming people. But you know yourselves. But you know, every time a parent passes away, and I don't wish it upon my worst enemy, but when a parent passes away, everyone says "hotaloka," which translates to "it'll be okay." Everyone tells you how much they will be there for you. Nobody's there. You have to learn to live with it. And they don't have to be there either. You know, I think it's just a thing that people say for the sake of saying it. So yeah, my mom in a nutshell and her death, I suppose. But yeah, love you lots, ma. And yeah, man. I just work harder. I believe in burying myself in work. It's not healthy. It'll probably catch up with me at a later stage. But I've never been one to run away from the problem. I believe pain demands to be felt. And I put myself in a position where I feel it. I don't run away or shy away from it. So as far as dealing with stress, man, stress is stress. I live in it, I wallow in it, I dwell in it. But I celebrate heavy when I celebrate. When there's a win, then I celebrate. But as far as the stress is concerned, I just live in it. High school was dope. It's not, because I know with many people feel as if they've peaked in high school. And for those people, I apologize, but you need to get your shit together. For me, high school was dope. Like I said, I don't believe I was a cool kid, but I did have cool kid perks, I suppose. But like I said, it's very hard to miss a guy named Zoe. But yeah, other than that, I had a good time. I met a lot of people, dope people, black, white, Indian, colored. We lost Laik Hussein in high school. That was a big hit that I think nobody was expecting. Rest in peace to Laik. And yeah, it was what it was. I think my best memory of high school was the Mini. I bought my first car in Matric. My grandmother used to I'll tell you guys the story of how that came about. My grandmother, because of the grant system, SASA system, my grandmother used to save money for me because I went to school on subsidy due to lack of financial support from my father. Yeah, it was a thing, I suppose. For those of you who didn't know, because I know for a fact nobody knew in high school. But yeah, my fondest memory would be the Mini. I had a Mr. Bean Mini, 1275 is what it was called, or what it is called. And driving that car to school every day from I think the month of March or February was really an experience. You know, I got to become an adult, got to become a responsible person at a very young age. I always have been, but like I said, it helped me deal with the fact of who I am in the greater scheme of things. And yeah, man, we up now, you know. Hey, niggas are watching. Nah, I went to Egypt. I had the pleasure of going to Egypt, to Cairo. It was for business. There's something called the African Export-Import Bank. And they were holding their annual meeting, and I was called up to represent South Africa, or the youth intent within the SADC region. I can't say I'm affiliated politically. I choose not to associate myself with such, but I do get calls now and then from people who are in national to go represent intentions. It's one of those blessings in my life, I suppose. But it was hot. If you think it's hot now, it was hot there. I pretty much stayed in the hotel room the whole time. I think I went down twice in the space of a week. I waited to come back. I had the pleasure of traveling by private jet, actually. And even when I got back, I spent a week in Cape Town, where I had a blast. I had a blast in Cape Town. South Africa is a beautiful country, guys. I don't think we take it seriously. I think even our laws and legislation, it's so beautiful. We really do have freedom here. You know, I watched a podcast, Trevor Noah's podcast, yesterday, actually, with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. And Dwayne said something that I found interesting. He said, if the people chose it, I would serve. I would serve the people. I think our leadership in the country currently is not what it's advertised to be. Corruption is there, yes, but corruption is everywhere, guys. Let's not lie to each other. It doesn't matter where you go in the world. You realize if you've been to Joburg CBD, you've seen every city there is. If you've been to Sandton, you've been to Johannesburg, you've been to Pretoria, you've been to Cape Town, Durban, you've seen the world. We have everything in a very small space in South Africa. So I think it's our duty to protect what we have and use it in order to build a better life for ourselves in one shape, form or the other, you know. But yeah, long story short, I would without a doubt run for office if the people chose it. I've held many projects. There was Savannah City. We built Savannah City a while ago with Gammon Housing. You would think I would have money from that. No. You know, and then there was fiber as well. We installed fiber in the Vaal. Zbooking Zone 10, actually, we were supposed to do. We had problems with Mama Spongile and our opposed councillor. Yeah, it becomes very tedious at a certain point to be in this business. So I've done the Vaal circuit as far as business is concerned. I'll actually use this opportunity to shout out a couple of people just to thank them. I think they know because I'm very open and I send out messages now and then. But thank you to Ndate Joy Dikole, thank you to Ndate Temba Goba, thank you to Ndate Silva, who's the speaker for Mfuleni Municipality. Thank you to Ndate Ntiwa Munyeke from Paris, as much as we are in court for that as well. But thank you. You know, I've been supported by grown-ups in this business journey. I will say it takes an island or it takes a village. You can't be a one-man army in this world. It doesn't exist. As much as you may want to, but you need people to cultivate and make you better. And that's been my journey in business. Yeah, we did fiber. Just to answer your question, we did fiber. We did construction, or we're still doing construction and fiber technically. We still have the licensing for it. But yeah, that's my main quote-unquote hustle, you know. The entire time, I love my baby to bits. I have one boy, technically, his name is Earth. I named him Earth because I felt this, okay, Zoe means life, right? Zoe means life. And there's a place in the universe, the galaxy, where you find life, and that's on Earth. At least as far as we know. I know there are these stories and narratives of aliens and all of that. I haven't seen one, so I don't care. But as far as I'm convinced, The only place where you find life is Earth. So I named my son Earth. And what a beautiful journey it's been. From his mother being pregnant, shout out, much love to Grace. I love her to bits. And she's been very supportive and a conduit for all these crazy ideas that I have. We've been able to build something sustainable. So yeah, shout out to her. But yeah, the entire journey, if I'm being honest, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And being a stepdad as well with Tsiamo, there's nothing like it, you know. Being there, being a man of your word starts at home. And that's what I've tried to do, start at home. I can't do it. I can't do it. Shout out to everyone who can. Shout out to the people who are able to push forward. I was asked at a certain point, I went for an interview a while ago, of course, but I went to an interview and the person who interviewed me gave me nuggets of wisdom, you know. I came out of that interview and that person said to me, listen, in reality, with the skills and acumen that you have, the ability to speak, why would you want to earn a salary for 12 months in a year? It's a fixed salary. Yes, of course, you can hustle or you can have a side hustle, as people call it these days, and do something else. But I believe in focus. I believe in if you're going to do something, do it, finish it, whatever it is. It comes at a cost. Everything comes at a cost. It comes at a risk. But I am willing to risk my comfort in order to make what most people make in a year in a month. Not every month is like that, but technically speaking, if I've made 120k, let's say I've made 120k in a month after 6 months of labor, that's the equivalent of me earning 10k a month for 12 months. And I can do that and have 3-4 projects running concurrently, you know, running parallel to each other. So as a result, when I think of the numbers, I just prefer the hustle. I love the thrill of sitting in meetings, drinking water, going to night dinner meetings and sitting with people, you know, I love socializing. I consider myself an introvert, but I think that's a lie I've told myself over the years. But yeah, I honestly prefer the hustle, man. The 9 to 5 is not for me, but shout out, much love and respect to everyone who can do that. I mean, I myself need a team of people behind me to support me. I've had big payrolls, like the Paris situation with 447 employees working under me, taking direction from me, my managers, etc. That was dope. I prefer that. I prefer being not the top dog, because that's a lie. No one is really at the top, even if you lie to yourself. I prefer giving a command rather than taking a command and then when I do it in the way that I feel according to my knowledge is right, having someone else say no, that's wrong, and want to teach me their ways. Let's do it. I think that's Nike says just do it. You can just do it if you'd like, but I say let's do it. It takes a community of people for you to reach whatever heights that you want to reach. We've seen these people, these grown gentlemen who come before us, make something of their lives, you know. Like I said, that day, Joy Dikole, for everyone who was in the Refira, for example's sake, if you would know Joy Dikole, and maybe not by him directly, but through his daughter. His daughter is Tuli D. And I think we also, maybe not through him, but through her and her life, what was possible. We went to school with people like Neom Taung, you know, Ntate Denim Taung, shout out to him as well. These are gentlemen in the Vaal who have made something of their lives beyond what we could have imagined at the time. We just saw people being picked up in Porsches and, heavy big cars, and we aspired to become. You must always understand, your competition is not the second generation. For us, our competition is not Thuli. Shout out to Thuli, by the way. I'm not speaking in bad faith. But the competition is not Thuli. Personally, I could care less about Thuli and what she's doing in her life. The competition is her father. Most of us are first generation. Most of us come from nothing. And we're trying to build these lives for ourselves. You can't look at someone your age who's from a well-off family and want to compete. Compete with their parents. Realize that, okay, if this person's father is 60 and this person at 20 is living a life like this, I want my kids to also live like this. And that should be the inspiration. Your competition shouldn't even be me, per se, as Zoe. Your competition should be, or your mindset should be, how can I connect with Zoe, give Zoe these ideas, for Zoe to teach me the game, For example's sake, I'm nobody in the greater scheme of things, I'll be honest. I'm just the guy that's trying some stuff out. I win some, I lose some. Like I said, I'm in court for most of my things anyway. But it's the resilience that I've learned that I have to build in order to one day be in the same category or be at the same level as someone like Ntate Joy, someone like Ntate Den, someone like Ntate Temba Goba. That's the dream. That's the dream. And if you realize your dream, you realize that it takes time. Forex is not going to do it for you. Forex is not going to do it for you, I'll be honest. Scamming people is not going to do it for you. You may be successful, but the law will catch up with you at some point in time. Work your ass off, save that money. Once you've saved, start a business, run it. Let's do it. Let's together as a community do it. And there's no excuses. Failure doesn't mean it's a wrap. I've had 4 companies before Pashash Group. 4 companies. I had the clothing. I started off like many people. I had clothing, etc. If you're planning on doing clothing today, in the Vaal, for example, shout out to you, but you're late. These things were done in 2016 already. No one's trying to buy the typical cap from Zoe anymore. Everyone is, if you're going to be in clothing and in fashion, like most of our brothers and sisters are trying to run that house, so if you're going to be in that space, do something different. Hire out, rent out a shop at River Square Mall. River Square is going through financial troubles. Growth Point, the information is there, I don't need to tell you. Go online, check out Growth Point is the company that owns River Square. If you check it out, you realize they're in trouble. So you can go and make an offer for a shop. Once you've done that, then you can build your company out from there. If you're planning fashion, be serious. Take it to the highest level possible. Yes, you may not have the money. Yes, you may not know everything. You don't need to know everything. I tell a friend of mine, he was also in high school with us, Andile. I tell Andile all the time. We've had these conversations. You don't need to know everything. Because you will never know everything anyway. But put yourself in a position where you're willing to learn whilst you're doing it. You're willing to take the risk. And if you have a support system that is good, you have your family, if your family is supporting you, you have friends that are supporting you, then there's really nothing stopping you. Do it. Do it for you, nobody else. Gang fights. I've lost 1 fight in my life. I was still in primary school. I won't give him props even, I won't mention him. But I was jumped basically after school this one day. People who know the story, but since then I don't think I've lost a fight. I've been in many. And thank God, because I haven't caught an assault case. If I have fought with you, and you were beat, I'm sorry, okay? It was the circumstances of the time. There's no need for us to go to court or for me to have a criminal record. I'm not prideful in my fights, but yeah, I have had. That's a good question. Not long, hey? 2 years would be a lie. I think it's somewhere around a year and 6 months. When I met her, I was at a point where I was ready to have a child, settle down, and I told her this. From the moment I met her, I was like, listen, you're different, I fuck with you, let's do it. And I've been blessed enough to have made the right choice or decision at the time. And so far, yeah, we've been running. Loyalty is frivolous. It's dependent on my reciprocity, you know? I need to reciprocate in one way or the other. But if you respect me, then even if you fuck me over, you are willing and able to come to me, have a conversation with me, and we can be men or people about it. So yeah, I prefer respect, man. You know, let's respect one another for who we are in our own private spaces. Dollars, yeah, I like the fact that it's in dollars, because that's like, what, 19 million rand. I'm buying a Rari, but also I'm planning on building sustenance. We've had plans to acquire or buy a couple of buildings in Vereeniging CBD. I don't feel as if this is the time, or at least in the future, I don't want my kids to feel as if they have to go to Joburg. Even if we are living in Joburg, I don't feel like my kids need to feel like they need to go somewhere else for opportunity. I want to build the environment here where the opportunity exists for you to be someone. So yeah, definitely buying a couple of buildings and turning that money around. Life, Brad. Life. I've been seeing God's grace in my life for a while. And it seems like God keeps giving me these opportunities to build, develop, become a better person. And now we're going back into the media space with television. SABC needs help. So I've been called up to assist. So I'm planning on doing that and just seeing everything through. I think it's important to reach the finish line in everything that we do. And right now the plan is to reach the finish line, you know. Win or loss doesn't matter, but as long as we get to the end of all of these stories or tabs that we've opened in the past couple of years. God damn. I want to be remembered as being a truthful person. I would love my death to not be a sad event, be a happy event. Hopefully no after tears, because these after tears get hectic. But when it's all said and done, I want to have lived a meaningful life. I want to have changed many people's lives. I want many people to have stories about who Zoe was in their life, and how I may have assisted them in one way, form, or the other. Yeah, I think that's what it's all about at the end of the day, you know, making sure that our kids are okay, our spouses or spouse are in a favorable position, and then we can bow out, you know, leave something behind that will live beyond you, stand or be able to withstand the test of time. That's really it, man. I can't lie. Yeah, that's basically it. But this has been Muddy interview with Zoe. Thank you guys for viewing, for checking it out. And yeah, peace. Let's link up. Let's talk later. You know what I mean?